Okay, recording to the cloud. You ready?
Yeah, that should be good.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm going to share it on our page on SurrogateFirst. Okay, in 5, 3, 2. Hang on 1 second, it's not going yet. I'll tell you. Go.
Hi, everybody. It's Ashley again. So excited to be with you for another webinar. It's been, 2 weeks? We're back in the habit of getting our webinars out, getting information to the public, helping intended parents and surrogates make smart decisions when it comes to their agencies and also the surrogacy process in general. Today, we are going to be discussing what to look for in an agency from the intended parent's point of view. Now, obviously, I'm not an intended parent, but after working with our agency for several years and being in the industry for close to 8, I've heard story after story about parents saying, I wish I would have known, or wish there would have been, some type of resource that I could learn more about it, learn more about what I'm looking for in an agency, learn more about just the surrogacy process in general. So me, Ashley, as a 3-time surrogate, want to touch on that. And I'm here to answer any questions. Actually, everyone in our agency is here to answer any questions you may have. If you do want to reach out to us via email, you would email us at info, so info@surrogatefirst.com. That's going to be a great place to email questions. But another amazing resource that we do have is our SurrogateFirst website. It's almost like a living handbook, and it's full of resources and blogs and different professionals that you can reach out to as you're going through this process. We trust those individuals. We've had a great experience with them. And so we then refer our parents to learn more from our providers. As we get through this, it's going to be, several questions that are posed and the importance of why those items are, those babies don't wait for anyone. And the reasons why, why those are important questions to ask. So let's get started. The first question I would say is asking how long a agency has been in operation. The importance for that question is because you want to know, have they been around for 30 years? Have they been around for a couple years? Now, there are amazing agencies that are just starting off and some that have really solid foundations, founders who have been in the industry for many years, but it's important to understand what their level of expertise is, what their experience is, and why they would make a great agency. So that's kind of something that I would definitely touch on. The other item that you're going to want to ask is, how many surrogacy, arrangements, have you guys done in the last year? Or, what is your average for your journeys? And so that's one that you want to ask. You want to know, how big is the staff? How much support do we have? What type of caseloads, do your coordinators, carry? You want to make sure that you guys are, you're not just a number, that you're cared for, that you have enough support and help throughout the process. Kind of tagging, off of that would be, how do I get a hold of people? Is there someone available 24/7? And that's, that's definitely an important question because one, babies don't wait for anyone. Emergencies don't wait for 9 to 5. You want to make sure that you have that support. At SurrogateFirst, we do have a 24/7 number. And the amazing thing about our 24/7 number is, yes, you can call your agency, you can call your coordinator, and maybe it's a Friday night and it's 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and they may not be answering, but our 1-800 number dials directly to me. And if I'm not able to pick it up, it goes directly to our founders. That's something that I think is amazing. With my experience as a surrogate and previously, my first journey being with another agency, I didn't even know who owned the company or who the founders were. But here at SurrogateFirst, you have the availability. They have an open door policy. They want to make sure that you are supported. The great thing with our founders is they are actually intended parents themselves. So they've been through the process. I believe it was 4 countries. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure, but I know that they had a long journey to parenthood, and their daughters were born via surrogate, which is amazing. So they have that heart. They want to make sure that you are comforted. They've been through the experience of, going through the fears and what could possibly happen, and not having a lot of control, in this journey. You guys are so brave, and you're so courageous because you have to go through this trusting. And that's why it's so important to ask these questions to an agency. You want to be able to trust your agency, know that they know what they're doing, that they have the support, the heart that's there. I would also ask, does the agency have a recommended compensation? Is there something that we would be, what is the average for like a first-time surrogate or an experienced surrogate or different locations? Just so you have the surprise. Do the surrogates make their own, compensation? And for a lot of times, surrogates will go with the recommended compensation, but some have special requests. And so you want to be able to know that as you're going through the agency and aware of that, so that you can make the proper budgeting as you enter into surrogacy. I would say another question would be, where's the money held? What type of attorneys do you work with? Those are definitely 2 important questions. Now, some agencies do it different, but what we recommend as SurrogateFirst is that we do not hold an escrow, in an in-house escrow, and we don't hold there's no attorneys employed by us. We get no kickbacks from any of our providers. We only refer people and clients to our providers that we believe have a high standard and that we've had a great experience with. And so that might be a question too to ask. Hey, do you get any kickbacks from the clinics, from the attorneys, escrow companies, insurance companies? You want to know that. You want to know that your referral that you're getting from your agency is a genuine referral, that there's no strings attached other than knowing that you're going to get good services and a great experience. Let's see. Has the agency ever been sued by clients or surrogates? Understand where the agency is and their history and how it's been, for their agency. Obviously, we have not been sued, but it's an important question to ask because unfortunately, being in this industry for 7-8 years, I have seen agencies be sued. I've seen, agencies unfortunately mishandle the escrow accounts, them close, and parents lose lots of money. That's why it's so important. Anytime I meet with intended parents, I always recommend doing your own research. Interview several agencies. I have several friends that own agencies. They're great agencies with great hearts. I would never talk bad about them, and so I tell them there are great agencies out here. Now, if we fit what you're looking for and you feel confident and you're able to trust us, we're great at communicating, then please come with us because I do believe we are one of the top agencies. We are definitely one of the fastest growing, but we also have a solid foundation of a high standard. So, I definitely recommend, looking into it and doing the research necessary to be able to make that decision on an agency. What I would also, recommend too is asking about maybe the process. How long is it to match? How long does it normally take for your parents to match? What are some of the complications with that? At SurrogateFirst, we have an average matching time of 4 to 6 weeks. And people go, that's crazy. How do you do that? And honestly, it is crazy. But the fact of the matter is, as an agency, we have a no match, no fee policy. And so there is no fee unless we successfully match you with the surrogate. Their records are approved by your clinic and you complete a match meeting with that surrogate and are willing to move forward with the journey. So that's important, and that's why I ask. I would also ask agencies, when are your agency fees due? It's important to know when you're required. Is it at the very beginning before you're ever shown a profile? Is it, after you've seen one profile and you are making that deposit? Some agencies, and I understand and respect, may ask for a deposit, and there may be 6 months to a year before you receive a profile. And so it's important to know that. When am I expecting a profile? When would those items happen? Another one that's important is, what is the average cost of a surrogacy? it's important to understand that and budget properly. Now, we all know there can be, catastrophic events that happen in pregnancy or complications, but what is the average, for the average pregnancy, I guess, is what I would say. Also, when is escrow funding due? And how much do you require or recommend to be funded into the escrow? That's a big chunk of money. And most agencies are going to require 100% to 200% of their estimated costs for the journey. They want to make sure that everything is covered. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that if there was something that was catastrophic or there was a complication, that you would, that your escrow would be funded and your surrogate would be taken care of if there were additional medical bills, bed rest, those kind of items. I would also ask about, it's important to know, because some agencies are different, but do I pick the OBGYN or the hospital? And the answer to that at SurrogateFirst is not exactly. If a surrogate is set up with a great OBGYN that they're comfortable with, that has, helped them with their own children, then most times surrogates will stay with that OBGYN. But it also depends on insurance. Are those providers in network for the surrogate-friendly insurance? And so, you may have a say, hey, I live nearby, I love this OB, would you be willing to? And at that point, you guys can make that decision. Also with hospitals, is there any requirements for the hospitals for your surrogates? We always recommend having at least a level 2 or a level 3 NICU. So you definitely want to ask that question too. I would also ask, what are your qualifications as an agency and then as staff members? We were really blessed. Last year during the pandemic, a lot of agencies, they got hit hard and had to close their doors or they had to lay off people. We were quite blessed in the fact that we had exponential growth and picked up amazing staff members. Most of them having like 2 to 5 years of experience, also either being intended parents or surrogates themselves. And so you want to know, what kind of experience do you have? Our founders, Lena had been in the industry for, I would say 10 years at the time of SurrogateFirst opening. She had helped, with thousands of cycles, I want to say. I know at least close to 1,000 cycles, but helped parents find clinics, helped them find egg donors and sperm donors, helped them find surrogates. And we brought that solid foundation in. The other thing I would love to, I love asking other agencies, and I think parents should too, how did you get started? Understand their why. Every agency is different. You want to know where that heart is with it, because where your heart is where your intentions and your time and everything is. And so understanding, why was this agency created? At SurrogateFirst, after the decade that Lena had in the industry, she realized that there was something missing when it came to surrogacy. And now, again, there are amazing agencies out there. What she had come into contact with sometimes, unfortunately, was surrogates not being properly vetted. Maybe them showing up to a medical screening, 30, 40 pounds overweight. Unfortunately, we had experiences, she had experiences with different things, or even agencies disappearing after they signed their collaboration, and now she was helping, support a surrogate on top of her intended parents. Because of this, she knew that there could be a high standard in the surrogacy agency. She knew that there was a place for us, and that's where SurrogateFirst grew. Through their experiences, we were able to create an amazing agency. I personally, as an experienced surrogate, came on board as one of the first surrogates. And I did that because I believed in the founders. I understood their heart, their high standard, and their care for not just the surrogate, but the intended parents. I know sometimes SurrogateFirst can seem like a little tongue-in-cheek, but the truth is we find the surrogate first. There's not some type of holding you ransom with your deposit, or we're not doing a bait and switch. We want to make sure that your surrogate is cleared with your medical records, with your clinic, before moving forward and considering it a match. So that's important to understand. Other thing, I would definitely recommend not so much asking an agency, but reviewing the agency agreement. I have seen time after time parents get taken advantage of, not properly understand what the agency agreement states. Read through it, read through every word. Make sure that you are looking over and understand and agree with it. What happens if a surrogate backs out? Is there a rematch fee? What happens if there's complications? What happens if you decide that this is not right for you and you need to put it on pause? It's very important to understand those things. The agency agreement should document those items, and it should also tell you what the agency's requirements are. What are their responsibilities? And so definitely read, research. Check out our blog. Our blog has different posts in there. We have different, webinars for different subjects. Contact us. I mean, like I just said, there's no match, no fee. There is no problem with you calling us, setting up a parent consult, us sharing the process, cost estimations, and everything with you. Because at the end of the day, you're not on the hook for anything. We just want to share that education and that knowledge. We believe by sharing that, you will make better choices in growing your family. It protects you, it protects your baby, and it protects the surrogate. So if you do have any questions, reach out to us on Facebook. We've got Instagram. We have our website. Our website has amazing different items like a cost calculator where you can put in your entire journey, including the IVF, and get a report. No strings attached. You don't have to be with our agency. We just want to educate the community. And we believe that being a good person is the right thing to do. I think that would probably be it on my qualifications. Oh, with escrow. Yeah, ask about the escrow and how reimbursements are taken care of. And understand that you can see those receipts and make sure that everything is adding up. The agency is going to look over things too. The escrow company is going to look over things too. But always do your due diligence when you're working for that. I hope to see you in 2 weeks when we do our next webinar. Visit our website. You can PM me on Facebook at Ashley SurrogateFirst Mareko. Mareko is Mareko. But we're all here. And you can even just PM our Facebook page. One of us will answer your questions and help you. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.